can't tell you how many people still come up to me, and I assume to you too, but I want to get your thoughts on this, and say, isn't it amazing that the first family of the United States is African American? What does that say to you, Robert?
Well, as somebody who grew up in the South, I think it demonstrates how far the country has come. I think a little bit about my son. He has a placemat with all the pictures of the president, and I realize that he's 6, and he doesn't know anything other than the fact that this is something that's very normal. He and many of the children like him are never going to grow up wondering what some of us did, which is, was there ever going to be an African-American president when
so
we were
many
alive?
African-American leaders, John Lewis, congressman, among others, have said to me in recent days, they never thought they'd live to see a day when the President of the United States is...
But I think it's even more important that the young people have seen this. You know, when when Michelle asked him,
they're not much surprised.
No, I think older. Well,
our generation is more surprised than our kids' generation.
But I do think that there are millions of kids in this country for whom that kind of success seemed unattainable. And he said, when he was considering the race, Michelle said, well, what can you do that no one else can do? He said, I know one thing, when I take that oath of office, there are millions of kids in this country who are going to think that their opportunities may be different than they did the day before. They're going to see the possibility of attaining great things. And I think that he is a tremendous role model, and that's a gratifying thing.
You could get emotional just thinking about that, right?
Absolutely. You know, when Nancy Pelosi was sworn in as the first female Speaker of the House, it was interesting generationally, Wolf, that some of the younger women who were there kind of took it for granted because they're growing up in an atmosphere where women and men compete for the same jobs, and there isn't the gender difference. For women of my generation, it was quite emotional. And I listened to what Robert said about his son Ethan, and I think about my own son. And they are growing up in a world where, where African Americans and women and people are going to be running for these jobs and win these jobs, and they're going to accept that as the norm, and it really is an amazing thing.
But along with the history comes hate. The election of a black president has not erased the racial divide. In fact, activity among white supremacist groups is increasing, according to the Department of Homeland Security. How worried should we be, Robert, about his safety?
As long as we have the Secret Service, which we always will, I don't think you should worry. They're the best group of folks that we could ever hope to have. They are professional. They are the best security force in the world. I don't think people should be concerned.
Your biggest challenge looking ahead, assuming health care reform one way or another gets passed, what's your #1 legislative priority for the next year?
Well, we've got several things
What's
that are...
#1?
Well, I think that finishing health reform, an energy bill, and financial reforms are absolutely essential to the future progress. But Wolf, our greatest focus for the next year domestically is to try and get people back to work again. You know, we're finally seeing economic growth, but it doesn't filter down quickly, and we need to get people back to work. All over this country, people are looking for work, and that's something that we talk about every single day, and that's something he is thinking about every single day.
When he ran for office, he ran because he wanted to make Washington work for middle-class families again, for the people who were left behind or just didn't really get to participate in some of the booms and busts, or the ones who really got hurt by the boom and bust economy. And that, if there's one goal we have, it's to keep that promise.
Get jobs for the American people.
Yep.
All right, on that note, jobs. We'll leave it. Congratulations. A year ago, they were in Chicago. We have video of people all over the world watching CNN. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That brought tears to my eyes as well.
Australia and the Philippines and Europe, they were all watching. Millions of people all over the world, and they remember that moment. When I show them those videos, those recollections, people get very emotional.
Yeah, it was a great night.
Yes.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Wolf.